So, you're getting ready for the 42 Piscine. You've probably heard whispers about this big, scary thing called the norm. It's the coding standard that's going to judge every single line of code you write. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how to master it, step by step.
Let's just dive right in. The tool that actually enforces the norm is called the Norminette. And let's be honest, it has a reputation for being absolutely merciless. It checks your code automatically, and yeah, it can definitely feel like the final boss standing between you and finishing your project.
But here's the real secret, the thing that changes everything. The goal isn't just to survive the Norminette, it's to actually understand the norm. Because once you get the why behind all these rules, they stop feeling like annoying obstacles, and they start becoming tools that actually make you a better programmer.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll cover what the norm has even is. Then, the most important part, the why behind it all. After that, we'll get into the real nitty-gritty, how to keep your code clean, how to write simple functions, and of course, the things you absolutely can't do. And we'll wrap it all up with a handy checklist to get you ready.
Okay, first up, what in the world is the norm? The best way to think about it is, well, it's like a coding partner who is extremely particular about how you work. So the official definition is that the norm is a programming standard. It's a very specific set of rules for how you write the C language at 42. And the Norminette, that's just the program that checks your work. You've got to think of this as the foundation you're going to build every single one of your C projects on.
Okay, seriously, pay close attention here because this is the most important part. Why do these rules even exist? They can feel so random sometimes, right? But they're not. They are specifically designed to teach you the fundamentals of good software design from the very first day.
You know, this quote from the official documentation, it just says it all. The whole point is to make everyone's code look and feel the same. That way, when you're looking at a classmate's project, you're not wasting brain power trying to figure out their unique style. You can focus 100% on the logic.
This whole philosophy really breaks down into three big ideas. First, sequencing. The norm forces you to write simple, step-by-step instructions. Second, look and feel. It creates this universal 42 style so anyone can read your code without a headache. And third, long-term vision. This is all about writing code that's easy to fix and update later, a skill that is absolutely crucial for your entire career.
All right, let's get practical. Let's see how all that big picture thinking translates into actual rules you have to follow, starting with the very basics of formatting your code.
This is it, the most famous rule of them all. No line of code can be longer than 80 characters. Now, why 80? It's not just a random number. It's a classic standard that makes sure your code can be read on pretty much any screen, any terminal, without having to scroll sideways. It forces you to be concise.
Okay, listen up, because this one trips up everybody when they're starting out. You cannot declare a variable and give it a value on the same line. You have to declare all your variables at the very top of your function, then, after a blank line, you can start assigning values. Think of it like a recipe. List all your ingredients first, then start the instructions.
Here's another one of those tiny little details that the Norminette will catch every single time. When you declare a pointer, that little asterisk has to be right next to the variable name, not floating next to the type. It's a super simple habit to get into now, and it'll save you a ton of frustration.
Let's do a quick fire round of a few more formatting rules you just have to know. First, every single name, variables, functions, you name it, has to be in snake underscore. That means all lowercase with underscores. Second, all names have to be in English. Third, only one variable declaration per line. Yeah, it feels a little tedious at first, but it makes the code so much easier to read at a glance.
All right, let's talk about functions. The norm has, let's say, a very strong opinion on them. And that opinion is, they need to be small, they need to be simple, and they need to do one thing and one thing only.
I mean, just look at these limits. A function can't be more than 25 lines long. You can't declare more than 5 variables inside it, and it can't take more than 4 arguments. Now, I know that sounds incredibly restrictive, but what it's really doing is forcing you to learn a crucial skill: how to break a big, complicated problem down into tiny, manageable, and testable pieces. And here's another one of those little details that's super easy to miss. The value you return from a function, it has to be inside parentheses. It's a simple little syntax rule, but for the norm, it is absolutely non-negotiable.
Okay, this next section is critical. We're not talking about style anymore. There are certain parts of the C language that the norm flat out forbids you from using, period.
Here it is, the forbidden list. You might want to take a screenshot of this or just, burn it into your brain. You absolutely cannot use for loops, do while loops, switch statements, go to, turn area operators, or variable length arrays. A single one of these will trigger an instant norm error. There are no exceptions.
So you're probably wondering, why? Why ban the for loop? It's so useful. Well, think about what a for loop does. It crams the variable setup, the condition check, and the increment all into one super compact line. The norm hates that. It wants you to be explicit. By forcing you to use a while loop, it makes you write out each of those steps on its own line, which goes right back to that core idea of making every single step of your logic crystal clear.
Phew, okay. We have covered a lot of ground. So let's wrap this all up with a quick checklist you can run through before you even think about submitting your project.
This is your cheat sheet. Before you submit, just ask yourself these questions. Is every line 80 columns or less? Is every function 25 lines or less? Are all my declarations at the very top? Did I separate my declarations from my initializations? Did I avoid all of the forbidden keywords? And am I within my limits for parameters and variables? If you can say yes to all of that, you're in fantastic shape.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. The norm might feel like a huge pain at first, but I really want you to try and see it for what it is. It isn't just a random set of rules designed to frustrate you. It's your very first, very intense lesson in how to write clean, collaborative, professional code. If you can master it, you're building an amazing foundation for your entire career. Good luck.